Greetings and welcome to another interesting episode of Lodha & Co. ESG Practice Podcast. I'm your host Anuradha Menon, and today we will discuss the significant S element of ESG with our guest Mr. Manishankar Prasad, who is the business and human rights professional with expertise in modern slavery and forced labor. He is the vice president of the ESG practice at Lodha & Co. and he brings a wealth of experience and unique perspectives to our conversation. Mr. Moni will unravel the challenges, opportunities, and growing stakeholder interest in ensuring ethical, inclusive, and socially conscious business practices. So, what do you mean by human rights within an ESG context?
Well, many thanks for the probe. Human rights within the ESG context is about well-being of your employees, well-being of your contractors, well-being of your value chain. If you're in a resource-intensive industry, it is about the people who are affected by your projects, especially in mining, especially in construction, especially in any large industrial scale facility like a refinery or an onshore exploration block. You need to have support of the people around your facility, whether it is the villages around you. But ultimately, human rights is about, particularly in a corporate context, and ESG is the social license to operate nowadays in the climate zeitgeist. In the climate capitalism era, human rights is about operationalizing dignity. So, how does dignity look within in the ESG context? ESG is the social license to operate. It is about doing business the right way, and ESG is the way that you operationalize what is the right in that particular context. So human rights, as we normally kind of visualize in the media across our social media, digital realm and streams, is about wokeism, right? It's about being reactive to and aligned to a particular politics. But human rights in an ESG context is not political. It is about doing things the right way. It is about treating your communities, your people, your vendors with the right dignity, with the right respect. And how does that respect look like in an everyday business context?
That's correct. So, social element is pivotal for organizational resilience. So, how does this work? How do companies benefit from prioritizing social considerations?
Prioritizing social considerations is the lifeblood of an organization. What is social? Social is how we treat our employees, first of all, which are our primary stakeholders, right? What does social mean? Social is about how do we deal with our communities, our practice. How do we behave with them on a day-to-day level? Are we creating a safe working space for them? For example, social is a very broad umbrella term, even within a larger omnibus term called ESG. So ESG is the way to do business the right way, but social is how to do it the right way, and social has many elements to it, right? You can take health and safety. What are you doing to make the workplace a safe place to work?
Exactly. So, could you explain how a company's commitment to its employees' well-being not only enhances social responsibility but also influences its overall performance? For example, factors like work-life balance, mental health support, employee satisfaction, how do these tie into this narrative?
What an amazing question. Thank you so much, Anuradha. Well-being is an omnibus term. It's a better term Uh, what does well-being mean to a shop floor worker might be very, very different from what well-being means to a technology employee who has been just retrenched. Or for example, in the service sector, what does well-being mean? And mental health is a dimension which is often understated, overlooked, as it can be quantified, right? It is very culture specific, it is very context specific, but mental health does impact productivity at the workplace, how you perform in the workplace, and these are issues which, in the realm, in the construct of well-being, is so important. Until now, we have been concentrating on well-being at a physical level, right? Creating a safe working space, whether it is a shop floor, whether it is an industrial facility, or whether it is an office block in a special economic zone. But mental well-being is something which comes from creating a bright, safe working space for employees as well, where there is no bullying, where there is no toxic work culture, and these things can be measured. These things can be operationalized within certain HR management systems, certain policies, certain procedures. Some benefits like having a proper lunch break, for example, or having proper coffee breaks, or creating safe working spaces for mothers, for example, young mothers, or somebody who is just recovering from an adversity in personal life, creates a safe working space for a lot of people. Well-being might also mean that a person might want a sabbatical from work to pursue a passion, a hobby, often at no pay, and those sabbaticals for further upskilling, further education are also part of well-being, which is often overlooked. And mental health might be a very internal thing, it might be an internal dimension, but it can often be a reflection of the wider work culture of the organization.
Thank you, Moni. So, the S element seems to encompass a wide range of issues from labor practices and diversity to community engagement and supply chain ethics. Can you help us understand the diverse shades of the S element and how they are interconnected?
The very shades of S and how they're interconnected is how ESG as a whole are interconnected. So when we talk about the social element, right, when you have proper health and safety, you also create a safe working space which contributes to mental health. When you create proper community engagement programs for your communities around your facility, you also create social trust, you create a sense of safety for your communities, where they benefit from your corporate benevolence, which is also in a way adds to your resilience as well, because these are the very people who support your facility, who support your business operations. Everything is interlinked in a way. It might be a capital S, it might be a small s, it might be a capital human rights with a capital H and a capital R, it might be a small h and a small r. However, the degree to which these elements all interact with each other and are entangled in order to create a heat map of sorts is a very interesting dimension to look at risk. We need to look at these elements in S, whether it is health and safety, mental health, community inclusion, CSR, social license to operate, anti-trafficking, forced labor, this entire arsenal of indicators and issues which come in as a network web of factors, right? Like, for example, organizations are entities of total stock of conversations which happen between people. We also need to look at as resilience, as what keeps your organization going in a crisis. I would like to take an example of the pandemic, which we have successfully come out of, and how did organizations bounce back and create resilience, right? For example, service industries just moved work from home, right? At that point of time, whether it is technology, whether it is services like consulting, but there were some industries which were essential services, right? Like healthcare, like pharmaceuticals. They had to head to work. Construction didn't stop. Construction of the metro lines in our cities did not stop. They still continued. So when we talk about these spectrum of issues and topics, these are all interlinked and they all add into each other, feed into each other, and social essentially is a tool which is a direct input within your business. It's not an externality, right? It's not a externality like carbon dioxide emissions. These are your people who need to be motivated. Your communities need to feel included in the dialogue, in the conversation. There is also the regulator, which is under the stakeholder. So all the stakeholders need to be a part of the narrative, a part of your growth story as a business. So social is very much a part of your corporate fabric, a part of your daily operations. It's not a separate part as per se as a different ESG topic where integration is needed. S is the most integrated part of your day-to-day business, and it has to be looked at it as from an HR angle, which is human rights, but also human resources, from a talent dimension, and also from a very, very hard input-based role, which is labor and capital in a business, right? Basic economics 101. So labor is your social dimension. You need to look after your workers for you to have a motivated business.
And with this, we conclude the first part of our discussion on the social element of ESG. In our sequel, we will delve deeper into HRDD and explore the factors influencing the workplaces of the future. Stay tuned. Here is a sneak peek of our next episode.
Mineral mining in sub-Saharan Africa, which is a very important part of the climate change paradigm.
HRDD, what exactly does it stand for?
Why human rights has emerged as the mantelpiece, the central story of the S narrative.
If you're interested in connecting with us or contributing to our podcast series, reach out to us at esg@lodhaco.com. Thank you.